Right.media.
Back on the SWOSU Coaches Show, I'm Mike Smith. We're visiting with football coach Josh Kirkland. And, well, Coach, how did it feel to be on the sideline for your first Bulldog football game, even though it was the spring football game? We'll just call it your first time on the sideline with the team. How did it feel earlier this month?
Oh, it was great. I think, fun being down there with the players and getting to coach some ball and showcase some of the things we've done this spring. More fun for me was to see the crowd that was there and, all the juniors that were in town for our junior day. And I mean, it felt like my wife kept talking about it. She's like, this felt like a game, like an October game. And I said, yeah, there was a lot of people there, a lot of excitement. Shout out to Josh Collins. He did a great job emceeing for us and getting some fun stuff going with the dance contest and the dizzy bat races and all that stuff. So the whole deal was just a lot of fun and really had a good time.
I thought quarterback Tyler Morton played really well when he was in the ball game.
Yeah. He I didn't leave him in very long. Just kind of spot played him here and there, but he's a player. He's a good one. He was mad that I took him out, but you want him to be mad. That's what you want out of good players. But really excited about him. Excited for him to lead this team. We got to put some pieces in place around him. But no, he's a really good player.
I know when you and I had talked previously, one area you were really wanting to look at was the line. What did you find out in that particular spring game?
Yeah, so O-line, we had a lot of turnover there this spring, coming in and changing the culture and doing some things. There were some kids that just this wasn't for them, and that's okay. The biggest thing with our O-line, I thought some guys played really well in some spots. We've got to get some more depth there. We have to improve that position and going to do that, somewhat immediately. We're going to get some junior college transfers in here, but the kids that we have, I think did a really good job and improved from day one to the spring. They still got some things they've got to do this summer to get better and get ready for fall camp.
When you look at skills positions, you look at wide receiver, a couple of guys really stood out for me. Jalen Lampley, also Israel Watson, I thought really stood out in the blue and white game.
Yeah, Izzy's a player. Izzy came with me from Highlands. I knew what Izzy was capable of. I didn't need the spring game necessarily to show me that because he played for me for the last couple of years. And then Jalen's a transfer we brought in at semester right when I got here. We were recruiting him. Before I got here, and then whenever I got hired here, I flipped him and brought him with me, and he's a great player. He's exactly who we thought he was. Made a great play in the back of the end zone, that diving catch, and then really more than anything, he's got great hands. He's probably our best collision catch guy. Did a really good job of catching those 10-yard stop routes in collision. Just keeping the sticks moving. And surprising one that he had that first touchdown and he didn't. For whatever reason, that probably my fault. I didn't get him the ball enough, but Deshaun Moreau can fly. That one that caught that touchdown early in the game, mm-hmm. He can really, really run. And so really pleased with him. He was here. Not a kid that I brought in, but a kid that really improved and soaked up a lot of the coaching and things that we went over this spring. Was great to see some really, really improvement from him.
Yeah, I remember him last year, and he's a player that has a lot of speed. He has game-breaking speed, Coach.
Yeah, he can go. He can run, and I think he'll be able to help us as well.
What about surprises? What surprises did you take away from the blue and white game?
So, the other one offensively that's a surprise somewhat. We saw it in all through spring practice, but Gerald Palmer is going to be a really good player for us as well at running back. He's raw. He's new to that position. He played linebacker in high school, and I think that the previous guys moved him to running back. He's going to help us there. He's a big body, hard to bring down. Runs really, really hard, really tough. Just still learning, where to insert the ball, where the hole should be, that kind of deal. And so he's still learning that, but I think he's going to be really good for us. Dexter Brown, we didn't let him go much. He went early, but he's got a groin issue he's been dealing with the whole deal. Another transfer we brought in from a Division I school this spring. I think he'll help us. And then defensively, both really all four of the linebackers I thought played really, really well. And I think they've been a surprise this spring. They've done a great job. RJ Powell and Christian on the D-line both played really well, did some good things, get in the backfield. Both of our what we call our razors, our kind of hybrid safety linebacker guys, Shane Andrews and Austin Hamby, both did a great job there. Not much of a surprise, but both of them, I knew I watched him all spring do some really good things. And then Shane played for me at Highlands as well, so I knew what he was capable of. And then Mason Daugherty did a great job. Really surprised me in the spring game. He did some good things through the spring, but in the game, lights came on and he turned it up another level and did some great things during the game.
Coach, what about the fall? Obviously, there's not much that goes on until you get them back in the fall. What happens and what do you want to improve on between now and when the lights come on in September at Henderson State for the opener?
Yeah, so coaching wise, we've got to get on the road and recruit. We got to go find a few key pieces that we're trying to get in here. We've got visits set up for the next month. I mean, every weekend pretty much we've got kids here in town that we're recruiting and trying to get signed. We've got a freshmen that are going to show up in June that we got to get them to work, make sure they're in shape, doing the things we need. And that's the big thing is between now and next August, I don't get as much time with them, but Coach Stroh does. So, June and July, most of our team's going to stay here enrolling classes and they're going to be here working out, working together, just getting more cohesive, more timing, more things like that. And then a lot, I would say the whole team is going to be here in July and going to get that other month to work out and do some good things. And then, we get into fall camp and get rolling again and go see Henderson on a Thursday night.
That'll be pretty exciting, Coach. How do you feel about going to Henderson on a Thursday night to open up the season?
Oh, I can't wait. I love it. When Coach Elton asked me if we want to play on Thursday, I said I'd play on Monday if they would let me. It doesn't matter. I'm ready to get out there and play. I'd play tomorrow if we were allowed to. So, it just is what it is. That's part of the nature of this business. You got to wait until it's time, but we're ready to go.
It's maybe on the outside looking in, people don't understand, but there's a lot that goes into this for basically 11 games of a regular season.
Yeah, so a couple of different stats that I tell the team all the time. You're going to practice somewhere around 3,000 to 4,000 hours of football throughout the year, really to play about 30 hours of a game. Of game time. Does that make sense?
Sure.
The other thing that is completely crazy in a football game, there are only 13 minutes and 22 seconds of actual game being played. The rest of it's all mental, it's all build up, it's all things like that. And so with that being said, it allows us, those kids are starting to understand that. And they're starting to understand how important practice is, how important the weight room is, how important it is to get out there at our 6 a.m. runs, how important it is to get in the film room and study film and study film and study film. And so those are things we talk about with them all the time and try and get them to realize that, the game is just the fun part. And there's not much, even in that, there's not a whole lot of action per se, because there's so much time, there's dead time in between snaps and all that stuff. And so the middle part is so huge, for us to meet and them to know what to do and stuff like that.
It's really interesting because you play the game on a Saturday, let's say, but you win or lose the game early in the week.
Absolutely. You lose that game on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday when you're preparing before you get there.
Coach Josh Kirkland, thanks for the visit on the SWOSU Coaches Show. Certainly enjoyed the blue and white game. We look forward to the fall.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, and go Dogs.
Go Dogs indeed. Josh Kirkland, head football coach, visiting with us on the SWOSU Coaches Show. More coming up next.
When you are making decisions as important as choosing home health or hospice for a loved one, it's important to ask the right questions. Is the facility locally owned? Are they proven through years of successful business practices? If necessary, can you transition from home health to hospice with the same care given? You can find all this and more at your locally owned Shepherd Home Health and Hospice. Shepherd Home Health and Hospice has served Clinton and the surrounding areas for over 15 years. Dependable, caring, and local. Shepherd Home Health and Hospice. Pioneer Cellular has the best coverage in Western Oklahoma. See the Pioneer Cellular store nearest you or visit gopioneer.com.
There's a new energy in Oklahoma. Wind and natural gas working together, keeping your energy prices steady and affordable. Clean, affordable, natural gas and wind. Oklahoma's new energy from PSO. There's a new energy in Oklahoma. Wind and natural gas working together, creating jobs and more money for communities and schools. Clean, affordable, natural gas and wind. Oklahoma's new energy from PSO.
Weatherford Regional Hospital is committed to serving Western Oklahoma with the best facilities, technologies, and employees. Everything from the convenient care clinic to the highly trained oncology department to the top-of-the-line mammography and x-ray equipment, down to the women's center, nursery, and emergency room. Weatherford Regional Hospital strives to provide you with a safe, clean, comfortable environment. Give them a call today or check them out online at weatherfordhospital.com.
Need your oil and filter changed? Take your vehicle to CJ Southwest Tire in Weatherford. There is no appointment needed. Bring your car, truck, or diesel in today. You can wait in the comfort of their smoke-free lounge while experienced technicians change your oil and filter on your vehicle. CJ Southwest Tire on the corner of Main and Kansas in Weatherford. Your Bridgestone and Firestone dealer. CJ Southwest Tire. See them on Facebook and at cjsouthwesttire.com.
Back on the SWOSU Coaches Show, I'm Mike Smith, and we're joined by golf coach Brad Fleetwood as we talk men's and women's golf today on the SWOSU Coaches Show. And well, Coach, thanks for the visit, and we've had some pretty good play recently from both teams.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. Yeah, it was. It's been a good last few weeks, especially on the men's side, and so yeah, it's as I kind of mentioned last time, kind of trending in the right way at the right time.
Well, you know, getting hot at the right time means a lot in athletics, Coach, and whether that's on the golf course, the basketball court, or the football field, getting hot means a lot. And right now, you look at men's golf, that's what we'll talk about first. They finished runner-up at the GAC Championships right behind Henderson State. Talk a little bit about the play of the team at the GAC Championships.
Yeah, honestly, probably the best performance we've had in a couple years. As far as a full tournament goes, you know, we've done a really good job over the past few years of putting up some good numbers. What we've struggled with is putting a full tournament together, which has left us in a lot of, you know, third, fourth, fifth, sixth place finishes. And so, which is solid, and it certainly, you know, leads to opportunities in the postseason. But for us to have an opportunity to win and to win the conference championship, you know, was good. It was a good feeling to be back in that spot, and again, can't say enough about our men's team and the way they played, and played really well all through the lineup. You know, it wasn't just a couple people, you know, carrying the ship, but it was everybody. Everybody was involved, and yeah, just really proud of those guys. Obviously, ultimately lost in a playoff after tying Henderson State after 54 holes, but again, very proud of the way they played. Just fought their tails off, and as I told them, we'll never ask for any more than that.
It's kind of one of those tournaments, Coach, that seem to go back and forth. You're leading for a while, Henderson State makes a run, then it has to go to a decisive playoff hole. I'm sure there were a lot of ups and downs regarding emotions as you were concluding that tournament that last day.
Yeah, no, there were. And, you know, Arkansas Tech was right in the mix of all that the entire week. they kind of faltered the last couple holes and kind of fell out of it there very late, but they were very much a part of that. It's kind of a 3-team race there for 3 days. And so, obviously nerves play a part in that, but every time our guys, if we stumbled and made a bogey, they were very quick to respond and get themselves right back in it. And, at no point did we ever, make enough mistakes to get ourselves out of it. And like I said, just everybody did a great job of responding to any adversity that came their way. And that's, again, I was probably as much proud of that as much as anything, just because we never, never stopped fighting. And, we had a putt that could have sealed it. They had a putt that could have sealed it there at the end. And again, guys just finished great, played well. And, as far as the playoff goes, I mean, Henderson State had 2 eagles and 2 birdies in that playoff. I mean, there's nobody in the country that was beating Henderson State on that particular playoff hole. Our guys played it great. We just, sometimes you lose, sometimes you get beat. And we got beat on that playoff hole, and that's all there, that's just all there is to it. So again, our guys fought. They handled the pressure well. And Henderson, unfortunately, somebody's got to come out on top, and just happened to be Henderson that afternoon.
Let's highlight for a moment, if we can, the play of Gregor Wack. And he finished 1 under par for the tournament and also finished tied for second individually. So some great play from Gregor Wack.
Yeah, Gregor's played great, really all year, being an all-conference player. He's never out of a tournament. And played really good. And Greg will be the first to tell you this spring, he struggled a little bit with his ball striking. So for him to play as well as he has, having some struggles, just again, is a testament to his grit and, his ability to go out and just grind things out, not get caught up in, whether it's good or bad, just knowing he's got a job to do and he's going to figure out a way to do it. And he did that very well this week at Hot Springs. And again, one of those situations again, where he had a putt to get in a playoff there on the last hole, came up just a little bit short, but he played excellent. And, but again, everybody contributed significantly this week, and it was a full team effort, no doubt.
All right. So now you sit back, you wait till Friday to see about regionals.
Yeah, so the guys should be in a good spot. We're awaiting one more conference championship. The Northern Sun Conference Championship is this weekend. Concordia St. Paul won that, and they'll get a automatic qualifier for that. We're sitting in the 8th spot, and the MIAA Championship is wrapping up, I believe, today. And we're what we feel is like a comfortable spot. We're never completely comfortable until those selections come out, but we feel confident about where we're at and the last ranking. So just waiting for Friday afternoon to hopefully get that confirmation and start planning on going to Indiana.
All right, and we'll continue our visit with golf coach Brad Fleetwood next on the SWOSU Coaches Show.
When it's time to unwind, pick up a bottle of your favorite stuff at Butcher's Wine and Spirits in Weatherford. All the top brands at the absolute best price. From whiskey, bourbon, gin, and scotch to your favorite craft, import, or domestic beer, Butcher's has you covered. And when it comes to wine, Butcher's has the best selection in town. And don't forget to check out their sale rack with deep discounts. Butcher's Wine and Spirits on Main in Weatherford.
Your parents have always protected you and provided the best way they knew how. Now it's your turn to make sure that they are taken care of. Corn Heritage Village and Rehab of Corn and Weatherford is a community providing long-term and skilled nursing care to enhance the lives and meet the needs of individuals and families. Their mission is to provide the highest level of care for your loved ones. Visit them at cornheritage.org or find them on Facebook.
CK Energy makes every customer an owner of the business. Unlike other electric utilities, CK Energy exists to make sure your needs are always met, not to make a profit. And since CK Energy is locally owned and operated, CK Energy is always there with you, reinvesting in your community. That's why in an electric cooperative, the people have the power. Committed to our members and the communities we serve, that's part of the CK Energy commitment.
CK Energy, we light up your life.
On the corner of Custer and Main Street in Weatherford, More Than Medicine stands ready to fill your prescriptions in a fast, friendly, and professional way. They also offer an outstanding selection of gifts for people of all ages. Their Gold Crown Hallmark card selection is second to none, and More Than Medicine is the perfect place for a bridal registry. All this, that's why it's called More Than Medicine. Corner of Main and Custer in Weatherford. They're on call for you 24 hours a day.
All right, here we go. Second segment with Coach Fleetwood in the count of 3, 2, 1. Continuing our visit with golf coach Brad Fleetwood on the SWOSU Coaches Show. Coach, we talked a little bit about men's golf. Let's now flip over to the women. They finished 4th in the Great American Conference Championships. A pretty good showing there for the SWOSU Lady Dogs.
Yeah, it was solid. I think, all of our ladies will admit we didn't quite have our best stuff last week, and that's unfortunate, but that's golf. That's the way it goes. And, it's a fickle game, and but nonetheless, proud of the way our ladies fought, especially that last round. They came out, fought pretty hard. Megan Brown came out after struggling the first couple rounds, had a really good finish, vaulted herself up in the top 10, and played really well that day. So proud of our ladies, our fight that week. Unfortunately, we didn't end up in the standings where we wanted, but again, that's golf.
Also, talk a little bit about their play overall. Do you feel pretty confident that they'll be in regional play?
So we're in a unique situation with the women right now, and it's kind of two-sided. I mean, we're happy to have the opportunity to get to regionals, certainly, but we have put ourselves in a vulnerable spot. We're sitting in the 9th spot, the final spot. There's one team from the Northern Sun, Augustana, out of South Dakota, who is one spot ahead of us. So with that being said, their conference championship is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. For us to get into the regional, Augustana is going to have to win their conference tournament. If anybody else were to win that tournament, they would get the automatic qualifier and most likely bump us out in that 9th spot. So again, we never want to be in a position that we're relying on another team to determine our fate. But nonetheless, that's where we're at. And I'd certainly rather be here than be on the outside looking in and not have that opportunity. So, we're going to look at the positives of it. Our girls have played solid this year. We've, certainly not in a spot that we would like to be in. But again, to have that opportunity, we're grateful for that. And we're going to be some big Augustana Viking fans this weekend.
I'm sure indeed, as will Bulldog Nation. Coach, you talked a little bit about Megan Brown finishing in the top 10, but just outside the top 10, Rebecca Lau had a pretty good showing. Yeah,
Rebecca did. And, again, someone that she struggled with some ball striking issues and really fought through those and was really proud of her. Had some, again, that last round got off to a really tough start and just fought her way through it all the way. And so, yeah, Rebecca had a solid tournament as well, just finishing out of that top 10. So proud of her, and again, proud of her fight to kind of fight through a little adversity that she was going through from a swing standpoint that week.
And it seems like that, one way or the other, even on the best days, sometimes you have to fight through some adversity on the golf course, Coach.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, it's just as I mentioned earlier, kind of a fickle game, and you hope that you've got your A game. Each week, but that's just not the reality of it. It's not the reality of it on any level, professional or otherwise. So, I think the mark of a good team is being able to go out with maybe that B- game or that C game and still being able to compete and keep yourself in contention. And I feel like we've done a good job with that at times this year. And so again, that's kind of talking about Gregor and Rebecca in that regard. Had some swing troubles that they were dealing with, but fought through them. And, ultimately golf is a game, and it's not about just swinging it good. It's about getting the golf ball in the hole. And so they did a good job with that.
All right. Coach Brad Fleetwood, thanks for the visit as we talk SWOSU golf here on the SWOSU Coaches Show. We'll be Augustana fans for the women this week with the hopes that they can get in and obviously root the men on as they head to what we expect to be some regional competition.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Brad Fleetwood, with us on the SWOSU Coaches Show. More coming up in a moment.
When you are making decisions as important as choosing home health or hospice for a loved one, it's important to ask the right questions. Is the facility locally owned? Are they proven through years of successful business practices? If necessary, can you transition from home health to hospice with the same care given? You can find all this and more at your locally owned Shepherd Home Health and Hospice. Shepherd Home Health and Hospice has served Clinton and the surrounding areas for over 15 years. Dependable, caring, and local. Shepherd Home Health and Hospice. Pioneer Cellular has the best coverage in Western Oklahoma. See the Pioneer Cellular store nearest you or visit gopioneer.com.
There's a new energy in Oklahoma, wind and natural gas working together, keeping your energy prices steady and affordable. Clean, affordable, natural gas and wind. Oklahoma's new energy from PSO. There's a new energy in Oklahoma, wind and natural gas working together, creating jobs and more money for communities and schools. Clean, affordable, natural gas and wind. Oklahoma's new energy from PSO.
Weatherford Regional Hospital is committed to serving Western Oklahoma with the best facilities, technologies, and employees. Everything from the convenient care clinic to the highly trained oncology department to the top-of-the-line mammography and x-ray equipment, down to the women's center, nursery, and emergency room. Weatherford Regional Hospital strives to provide you with a safe, clean, comfortable environment. Give them a call today or check them out online at weatherfordhospital.com.
Need your oil and filter changed? Take your vehicle to CJ Southwest Tire in Weatherford. There is no appointment needed. Bring your car, truck, or diesel in today. You can wait in the comfort of their smoke-free lounge while experienced technicians change your oil and filter on your vehicle. CJ Southwest Tire on the corner of Main and Kansas in Weatherford. Your Bridgestone and Firestone dealer. CJ Southwest Tire. See them on Facebook and at cjsouthwesttire.com.
Hey, we're back on the SWOSU Coaches Show. I'm Mike Smith. Track and field coach Jennifer Johnson visits with us in this segment. Coach, thanks for the visit.
Thank you for having me.
Last competition was held over the weekend. It was the Langston Invitational. Tell us how things went.
Things went pretty well. Our girls placed well in their events. I think we were able to win a handful of events. So it was a small meet, and I think that was good to build some confidence right before we go into our conference championship. So it went pretty well. We had, I don't think we had any PRs, but we had quite a few top finishers. So
one thing I was going to ask, Coach, a meet like that, does that kind of fine-tune things before you go to the GAC championships?
Yeah, it can. We actually kind of sent people in different directions this weekend. A few of my girls didn't go to Langston with us to give them the opportunity to go run unattached at other meets. So we kind of used the weekend instead of more team placement. We kind of just met each individual where they needed to be to get ready for conference. So in that aspect, yes, we were able to kind of fine-tune different people, even though they needed different things.
Speaking of the conference championships, that's coming up early next month in Shawnee. Give us an idea. What do you expect when you go to Shawnee? I know you was there earlier this year, so you kind of know the lay of the land a little bit.
It's going to be pretty competitive. The events that our team is strong in, they're going to have to fight for points. The events that SWOSU is strong in, the GAC is pretty strong in altogether. So it'll be interesting to see our faster or more skilled athletes have to really fight for those points.
What about preparation between now and then when the competition occurs early next month? What preparation are you going through right now to get ready for the GAC championships?
This week and most of next week, we're going to hit them pretty hard. Their workouts will be pretty intense, not super long, but the intensity will be up a little bit compared to how it has been for the meets that we've just attended. We are going to cut back on weights a little bit, try to get their muscles more recovered. We haven't cut back on weights yet this season, but as far as running, it will be shorter, but it will be more intense. And then that week that we do compete, they'll appreciate that week because we'll let them mostly recover right before the GAC.
What events do you think you'll be most strong in when you go to the GAC championships?
The two that I'm kind of expecting to be stronger in are the steeplechase and honestly the women's high jump. I think that our points will come out of those two events. We do have a chance at getting points in the 15 and the 800, but it's going to be hard. Like, they'll be hard fought. So I think our runners are capable of placing in both of those events, but I pretty well expect us to place in the steeple and the high jump.
As you look back on the season overall, your thoughts about where the team has come this season?
We've seen a lot of individual improvement, a lot of individual PRs. We didn't have many meets that we walked away with no PRs. I know I said we didn't at Langston, but the girls that went in unattached were able to pull out some faster times with some faster competition. So if nothing else, we're leaving everybody faster than we started the season with. And that's only going to bring improvement to the program in the years to come. So that's exciting.
Sounds good. Head Coach Jennifer Johnson, thanks for the visit, talking about SWOSU track and field and getting ready for the GAC championships, and go get them in early May.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we'll have more of the SWOSU Coaches Show coming up next.
When it's time to unwind, pick up a bottle of your favorite stuff at Butcher's Wine and Spirits in Weatherford. All the top brands at the absolute best price. From whiskey, bourbon, gin, and scotch to your favorite craft, import, or domestic beer, Butcher's has you covered. And when it comes to wine, Butcher's has the best selection in town. And don't forget to check out their sale rack with deep discounts. Butcher's Wine and Spirits on Main in Weatherford.
Your parents have always protected you and provided the best way they knew how. Now it's your turn to make sure that they are taken care of. Corn Heritage Village and Rehab of Corn and Weatherford is a community providing long-term and skilled nursing care to enhance the lives and meet the needs of individuals and families. Their mission is to provide the highest level of care for your loved ones. Visit them at cornheritage.org or find them on Facebook.
CK Energy makes every customer an owner of the business. Unlike other electric utilities, CK Energy exists to make sure your needs are always met, not to make a profit. And since CK Energy is locally owned and operated, CK Energy is always there with you, reinvesting in your community. That's why in an electric cooperative, the people have the power. Committed to our members and the communities we serve, that's part of the CK Energy commitment.
CK Energy, we light up your life.
On the corner of Custer and Main Street in Weatherford, More Than Medicine stands ready to fill your prescriptions in a fast, friendly, and professional way. They also offer an outstanding selection of gifts for people of all ages. Their Gold Crown Hallmark card selection is second to none, and More Than Medicine is the perfect place for a bridal registry. All this, that's why it's called More Than Medicine. Corner of Main and Custer in Weatherford. They're on call for you 24 hours a day.
That concludes this week's edition of the SWOSU Coaches Show. Thanks to our guests, Josh Kirkland from SWOSU Football, Brad Fleetwood from Men's and Women's Golf, and from Track and Field, Jennifer Johnson. I'm Mike Smith, thanking you for watching this week's edition of the SWOSU Coaches Show. Until next time, so long, everybody.
right.media.